Welcome to the Hall of Mysteries, upon whose shelves are stories of giants and creatures that leap mountains, and a catalogue of the deeds of the devil, and lists of those transformed into nightmares too hideous to describe. These things are part of the great pageant and lore of this land, and the likelihood is that not 5 minutes from where you are right at the moment, something strange happened. Maybe so long ago that the details have been forgotten, and all that's left is a collection of shadows and dark whispers. Like the shadow that fell over Kington when Thomas Vaughan, master of Hargest Court, died at the Battle of Banbury in 1469, and his ghost came home to plague the people. It terrified animals, turned over carts, and haunted the church, until enough was enough, and they decided to rid themselves of Black Vaughan, once and for all. Come with me. You see? Down there in the valley, that's Kington. While up here on Hargest Ridge there's a cold wind and rain blowing in from the Radnor Hills. And somewhere up here, something strange is happening. Keep down. There. Look where I'm pointing, on the far side of the hill, just before the rise. 8, 9... Yes, I can see 11 men in cassocks. While one reads, another strikes the bell. And there, 2 more struggle to keep a candle alight. There's quite a large pool nearby, and they seem to be trying to throw something in. Wait, here comes another. He must have walked up from the town. He seems unsteady. I think he's drunk. He's got the book now, and he's shouting into the wind. The others are scattering, falling down. There, he's thrown something into the pool. The wind's going. They're helping one another up. And I think they're coming this way. Yes they are. We must go. So, the spirit of Thomas Vaughan was exorcised by that 12th cleric, who indeed had a reputation for the drink, and maybe was a little braver for it. He confined Vaughan's spirit in a snuff-box, and cast it beneath Hargest Pool. There are those that say this is all nonsense, and some that think the snuff-box is there to this day. But others say the spell of binding lasts only for 100 years, which is nearly past, and that even now, beyond the borders of this world, that creation of the dark has cast its chains and walks.
Walking all day to the Malvern Hills where the shadows fall from the Raggedstone rocks.
Ah, there you are. How often have you walked over the Malvern Hills? Maybe on a beautiful, sunshiny day, with a picnic basket full to the brim and red wine. Or perhaps you're the type that prefers crisp winter mornings, running, your breath trailing away in clouds as you pound your way over the springy turf. Breakfast in sight. It's hard to imagine a more beautiful place, unless the joy of life has been taken from you by cruel justice, and your punishment is to become acquainted more closely with that hill, so close that you will come to know every stone, as you claw your way endlessly up and down, up and down.
Walking all day to the Malvern Hills where the shadows fall from the Raggedstone rocks.
You see this shadow? This is my shadow, and I lived in it. You see it? You see it? I hear the bell sometimes. I was a monk down there once, long ago. I was happy then, until I broke the rule. I knew him who wrote the vision of Piers the Ploughman, and we walked and talked, and I did wrong. They made me crawl up Raggedstone Hill every day. I tried my best. I did what I could do. And I've paid my penance every day, on my hands and knees. I crawled, I clawed my way. My fingers were bleeding. Every stone, underneath my hands and my knees, every stone. Then, when they wouldn't let me rest, on and on, up and down, until my strength was gone, and my spirit already departing, I did cry. I did cry to him. May all upon whom the shadow of this stone falls die untimely as I do. And there is power in words spoken thus. But too many years have gone by, and I would do no harm, not now, after all this time. But I cannot unsay what I have said. I cannot.
Walking all day to the Malvern Hills where the shadows fall from the Raggedstone rocks.
Hey, you there?
Oh, me?
Yes. What are you doing here?
I climb and I curse.
But your story's told. Why not go now?
It was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. A very long time ago, and the world has changed.
Is it better now?
It's certainly different.
But is it better? Is there still pain and cruelty in the land?
Well, yes, I suppose there is.
I cannot unsay what I have said.
No, I think not. But I can turn the page you're on, and maybe while the book is closed, things will change, and your wounds will heal, and time will unsay your curse.
Walking all day to the Malvern Hills where the shadows fall from the Raggedstone rocks.
When you're in love, and you're with the person you love, sometimes against all the odds, you are in touch with one of the strongest powers on earth, and for a time you are invincible. There is no right or wrong. Like Lancelot and Guinevere, there's only one way to go, and though eternity is waiting for your moment of folly, there is no choice. Only your heart knows the way. When Alice Birch and her lover Charles Clifford took refuge in Goodrich Castle at the height of the Civil War, they thought themselves safe among royalist friends. But the hand of fate brushed aside their good fortune, and Alice's uncle, a colonel in the Roundhead army, besieged the castle, leaving the pair just one desperate path to freedom. Follow me along this battlement. Stay close. Don't look down. The edge is crumbling and the river is deep. Carefully now. Down the spiral stairs. Keep to the edge, where the stone is wider. Listen. The river. Now, through that arch. Look. Below us to the left. It's Alice and Charles. They're mounted on a fine chestnut mare. She has her arms around his waist. He's urging the horse down the bank into the river. Wait, there are soldiers coming, and they've been spotted. Now they've jumped. And the current's taking them. It's too strong. They'll never make the other bank. I think we've been seen too. Quick, follow me. Alice and Charles were never seen alive again. But down the years, century after century, the story is told how upon that anniversary they plunge again and again to their doom, and how at times the grey shadow that may once have been Alice Birch walks the castle walls in lamentation of her love. Now, if you would write words such as those I'm about to speak, take care, for my shelves are lined with the consequences. Oh, come with me, my pretty maid, and we will ride the Wye. 'Twill give us both our liberty, or forever we will try. When I open the many volumes in this hall of mysteries, time and again a familiar figure strides across the page, and we can ignore him no longer. Imagine the dark hills framed like fearful beasts against the bright night sky. They have always been the natural home of this king of demons. He has many names and has been here as long as man. He is seen in all lands and in all places.
He has many names.
With hideous antlers and a pack of spectral hounds, he courses through Windsor Forest, a portent of untimely death. There he is Herne the Hunter, the devil's henchman, master of the wild hunt.
He has many names.
In the northern lands, Wotan and Hela lead the ghost chase across the skies. In Germany, a Valkyrie's vanguard, maybe Holder or Herlechin. And here, in Worcestershire, resident above the Lickey Hills, they call him Old Harry. Harry-ca-nab. I will take you there now. Ride the wind with me to the Lickey Hills. You will need more than eyes and ears to understand, for you must see with the second sight and hear like the old ones who listened to the corn ripening upon the stalk. Must I convince you that the laughter is Old Harry and the devil himself? Can't you see them now, astride white bulls in pursuit of the wild boar, with the 7 whistlers by their side? Or do you see the 6 birds of fate? Count them carefully, for they are in search of a 7th, which if found will betoken the end of the world. I close the book, knowing only that the next one I pick up will continue the story. There, dancing down the ages, man's constant companion, writ large upon nearly every page, in every chapter, the history of the world. But you know, the path home has seen many travellers whose nights were spent in dread of the dark, with neither candle nor fire for comfort. And slowly, through the years, they built a fortress to defend us, so that now we hardly give a thought to Old Harry or Herne the Hunter. Perhaps, though, we should maintain the walls and see to the locks, and remember that there are songs to sing and words to say to save our souls on All Souls' Day. Hallow. The eve of All Hallows has always been a time for predictions. Young girls needing husbands practiced charms to find them, while others cast morbid spells to foretell death and disaster. One such prediction happened of its own accord, unlooked for and unwanted. Once there was a Dorstone man called Jack of France. Not a person people liked. If he could cause trouble, he would, and for years he had got away with it, as such people can. But there came a time, oh yes, there came a time for Jack of France. Returning home one Halloween, he took the shortcut through the churchyard. Let us watch him now, pushing through the undergrowth, the dark night lit every few moments by a fleeting yellow moon. Here he comes. He's broken away through the yew hedge, making his own path towards the church. Ah, he's stopped. All the church windows are shining with light, and he knows that should not be. There are no services at this time. Now he's going to investigate. Yes, if he stands on that stone, he can just see in. Why don't we have a look as well? There should be a good view from here. Ah, yes. The congregation is huge. And how quiet they are. They listen to the preacher in the pulpit. He is dressed like a monk, and the cowl is hiding his face. Ah, he begins to turn to the window where Jack watches. It is no monk in that robe. His face is hideous and laughing, and I know it. I know him. It is, of course, the devil. He's off and running for his life. And I don't know about you, but I've seen enough. Come. The devil's congregation was there to witness a roll call of those that were to die in the coming year. And Jack, wicked Jack, heard his own name on that list. And from that moment he resolved to do no more evil, to be as good and law-abiding as the next man. But too much harm had been done, and within the year Jack was dead. Think carefully. Tread gently on the superstitions that litter the way. Halloween is a time of fun, isn't it? A time to buy pumpkins, and having scooped out the middle, to carve a face. A weird, pointed, grinning face. Next Monday morning, just before 9, I will tell the first of 5 stories for Halloween week, based on local legends. I would settle down with a cup of tea, Book of Common Prayer, garlic, rosary, crucifix, sprig of rowan tree, rabbit paw. My name is Les Penning, and starting next Monday morning at 5 to 9, I will unlock the Hall of Mysteries for a brief glimpse into the stranger and darker nature of the world, which seems to linger just on the edge of our vision. Join me then. Each with their own despair, the ghost of Thomas Vaughan, the devils of the Licky Hills have one thing in common. Their stories will be told again next week, every morning at 5 to 9.